Hello. Welcome to the Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 263. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. And this is a Tutor episode where we try to teach you something new.
But we're going to start out talking.
Okay.
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was fun. How was yours?
It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Into the topic.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah, so we had a good weekend. What did we do?
We went to some fights.
Nice. Tell me more.
At Shaun's jiu-jitsu.
At Club 37, where I do jiu-jitsu.
Yes. Gym. Jiu-jitsu gym. That's what I was trying to think of.
Nice.
A couple of the guys were competing this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So we watched Quang Bang Lee
Mm-hmm.
fight in Mystic Lake Casino in Minnesota.
Yep.
Had to drive through a snowstorm there and back.
Mm-hmm.
So that was enjoyable.
He won. He won.
He won, yeah.
Which was sick.
It was really sick in his famous kick.
Head kick. Yep.
So he got a knockout.
TKO, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm really happy he did, because the other guy was wearing boxers with a unicorn on it.
I was so happy he messed that dude up.
That dude, I feel like, he was tall. He was like 6'1" at like 155 pounds.
5'11", yeah.
5'11", 155 pounds. I was like, that's insanity.
That's a thin man.
Yeah. And Quang is 5'8", 5'9"?
5'6".
Yeah, 5'6".
5'6".
That's a big height difference.
Big difference. Big, but the same reach.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was the same reach. So that one was really fun. We got to watch some other cool people at Mystic Lake. Gambled a little bit. That was fun.
Yeah, it was a really good time.
Got back home. Got 3 hours of sleep.
Yep.
Shaun had a plow because it snowed. I cleaned the house so our lovely friend Kayla could stay here and watch Mimi. And then went up to Ashland. Had Christmas with the Tutors. Anything fun to say about the Christmas with the Tutors?
Watch Fast and the Furious?
Yeah. Yep. 1 and 2. Parts of 2.
1 and parts of 2. It's just nice to get together with the fam, eat some food, have some desserts, chill out.
Coffee. Lots of coffee.
Lots of coffee.
That's great.
That's fun.
And then we went and hung out with Mitch and Ashley and watched another friend compete up there. Darren. And then we, by happenstance, we got to watch Shaun's cousin fight as well.
Yeah, Shaun. Yeah, it was a good weekend. It was fun. Got to watch multiple fights. Saw a bunch of people I haven't seen in years, and which is always cool to see.
Yeah, I would be down to go watch more fights. That was fun.
All fights are really fun to watch. Big difference between professional and amateur.
Yep, very big.
Very big difference. But yeah, it's fun to experience and be a part of and watch and stuff. It's fun to.
And Shaun really enjoys it too, because MMA, they do a lot of jiu-jitsu kind of in it, especially with the professionals.
Yep.
They do a lot of jiu-jitsu, and it was really fun, I think, for Shaun, because he was like watching and he's like, oh, he's doing this and he's doing that. He's trying to get there. If he does this, he gets this. And I think that really.
Oh, it makes it a lot more fun, makes it a lot more understandable of what they're doing, what they're needing to do, things like that. Well, it's like watching the amateurs go last night. It's like, if you were to do this, why aren't you working on getting out? Use your feet, use your legs, things like that, right?
Yeah.
And in the pros, you can watch them do that because they got strategy. And they're trying to do things. And I think amateur, it's just so much. I don't want to get hit in the face as much.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of in like a flight. There's fight and flight. And I think so much of it's just like in that fight or flight mentality.
It was really
strategy.
Yeah, it was insane, because the amateurs, a lot. I think half of the fights, one person would be on the ground, the other would be on top, just pummeling their face.
Yeah.
And they weren't really doing anything to get out of it.
No, they were just taking shots.
And that rarely, I think it would happen for like 2 shots in the professionals.
Well,
and then
it does happen a little bit, but it's
not for nearly as long.
It's not for as long, and they try to they're typically doing things to try and get out of it.
Yeah.
But there was a couple the other the pro night where they just like quit moving, and it's like you got to do something. If you quit moving, then they call a fight.
Yeah. But a lot of time, most of the time, those ones, they were on their stomach.
Yeah, they were just
so they were
getting just tove.
Yeah, on the side of the head instead of straight down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so that's cool. It was fun. Crashed. Did breakfast with the fam this morning. Mm-hmm. Popped over. Did a workout at the high school.
Yeah.
With Maggie and Molly. Which is good.
Yeah. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Lifting's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And popped down, saw Grandma, had lunch with Grandma and Kyle, Katie, the fam.
Mm-hmm.
Then did that. Now we're back here doing this.
The longest ride home ever.
Man, frickin', we're just wanting to sleep.
It was bad.
Oh, so yeah, it was good though. It was fun. You yawned.
I know.
You messed
sorry.
me up.
I'm sorry.
Got to see a lot of family. Got to see a lot of friends. It was a good weekend. Minimal sleep.
Very minimal.
Probably
sleep.
some of the least amount of sleep I've gotten in a weekend.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That wasn't like a military weekend, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So looking forward to getting some sleep tonight.
Yeah, going to bed early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
what are you tutoring about, babe?
do you remember the quote?
You have the phone.
Did you send me the quote?
No, but I figured you were going to look it up when you asked me the first time, and I can't tell you because my phone is recording this. I highly suggest there's a book. I can't even tell you what book it's called. It's like 100 quotes that'll change your life. And I think it's pretty recent because there's some Alex Hormozi quotes in there. There's some Jordan Peterson, Thomas I mean, there's a lot older ones, obviously, Thomas Jefferson. But it's been very interesting to just, like, read 10 a night, and I'll, like, flip back and forth. I'll start over repeatedly. It's just a lot of good quotes to have in your...
Ready?
Have in your mind at all times.
Thomas Jefferson. Never spend your money before you have it.
Which I don't... It just blows my mind that he says that, because that was way before, like, debt was really around. Like, actual debt. I'm sure they had some form of debt back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, running totals of, like, okay, you owe me 2 chickens.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, there's around 1811 he wrote that.
Oh, wow.
But, I mean, there was a lot of stuff, a lot of business back then, a lot of...
But it was more like trades, wasn't it?
No, there was money then.
Was there currency? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Big time.
There just wasn't consumer debt, really. Not from what, like, the consumer debt we know.
Correct. Yeah, there wasn't credit and shit like that.
Credit loans.
Right.
They probably still had some type of loan.
They had some sort of something. You have the loan sharks. You have people that have money that lend you things so you can buy your stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's interesting. It's cool to, it's a good quote, and it's, as pertinent. It's more pertinent today than ever before. There's more consumer debt right now than ever before. There's over $1 trillion in consumer credit card debt in the U.S.
And we will justify this or differentiate this. Mortgage debt can be different than consumer debt.
Oh, it is different, but it's still debt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
It is still debt, but, like, there's good debt and bad debt.
That's what people say.
What? You got this?
Mm-hmm. You know who doesn't say that?
Who?
Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can be smart with it.
No, you definitely can.
But it is a good, I think, rule to follow. What do you got?
Yeah. Here's how it goes. We talked about this a million times, but it's good to talk about because people do not think of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have the money for something, you probably shouldn't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And The average car loan right now is $1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month?
Yeah.
Okay.
So average car loan's $1,000 a month. You got your the credit card debt, like I was saying, interest rates, bananas. It's something like a $250,000 house now is what a $400,000 house was 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And so you know, whatever. Student loans are insane. People are trying to keep up with the Joneses. People are thinking they need certain status, certain things for whatever reason to impress people, and all that. Only spend the money if you have it. Mm-hmm. And guess what? That means you're going to have to live below your means. You're going to have to save money, mm-hmm. and you're going to have to spend it appropriately. You're going to have some level of a budget to understand how much you're spending, mm-hmm. so you know how much you can save. But a lot of people, this is one example I'll give that so many people don't think about. Someone wants to buy a house. Mm-hmm. Well, you can buy a house with 3.5% of the down payment, right? And then whatever you qualify. Okay, go ahead, buy that house. You've got only maybe you got 4% in your savings account. Got 4% in your savings account for your down payment. Okay, cool. You buy it. All right. So now you bought this house. Now you got to furnish this house. Mm-hmm. Maybe you brought half your furniture from the place you're renting. Okay, cool. But now you have to get more furniture, fill the house, whatever. Okay. Now you're gonna want to do some updates. Most likely. Yeah. Start doing some updates. Well, you don't got any money in your savings. Okay, so I could put it on a credit card, mm-hmm. do things like that, right? Okay, or you take in you wanna maybe you want to do an upgrade, whatever. But on the other side, maybe something goes out. Maybe a furnace goes out. Mm-hmm. Maybe you have a water leak. You know, maybe your roof is bad, whatever, right? There's any number of things that could go wrong in your house. An appliance goes out, whatever. What do you do now when you move into a house, your furnace goes out, new furnace is $4,500? Well, you just put your 3.5% you had saved down. Now you can't afford it, so what do? Well, we'll lend that to you for 6 months at 0%. Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. Sign up for that. Well, you thought you were going to save up $4,500 in 6 months, but you were getting new furniture. You were keeping up with the Joneses. You were doing this. You were doing that. You didn't pay it off. Okay, now it moves over to the interest rate, whatever it is, 10, 15%. Mm-hmm. And now you're rocking out paying it that, putting you farther in debt because now you're paying interest. So it's like anything you're doing, be careful and try to when it comes to taking a loan or it comes to buying something, be careful and think about the impact it could have on you, and what you could do with those finances in comparison, right?
Oh yeah. Because
like a lot, like people want to take in. They say they want that new truck for $50,000, right? Mm. And with the current interest rates, say they're paying whatever $800 a month, and then you got your insurances and stuff, so you're right around $1,000 a month for that vehicle. Okay. So you paid $1,000 and you do that for like 72 months. So 6 years at $1,000 a month. So that's $12,000 a year. Over the whole course of it, you're paying $70,000 or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. You just paid $70,000 for a truck or a vehicle that's now worth $35,000. Mm-hmm. Okay, so over the course you paid about $40,000. All right, or you could spend $5,000 to $10,000. Be strategic in your buy, stuff like that, so you're not dying in maintenance costs. And save that money, stack that cash, so you can go invest, buy rental properties, whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of blowing it on a vehicle that's depreciating instead of buying something that is appreciating.
Right. When you got to think, too, is people, like with buying a house, if you don't do escrow, you don't think about the taxes you have to pay at the end of the year or to renew your like homeowners insurance. Like that's something you don't think about usually.
Yeah, most people do most things escrow, especially personal side, because you have to. I can't even imagine what like foreclosure rates would go to and what would happen if that shit wasn't escrowed.
Oh yeah.
People just wouldn't pay their taxes or their insurance.
Yeah. But so there's that, like you have to think about that expense. And even with cars, people don't think about when you have to buy new tires.
Right.
Or let's say you want a higher end car, so like an Audi or a Mercedes. Mm-hmm. Their oil changes aren't the same price as regular oil changes.
Everything goes up.
Everything.
Goes up. Same with a fucking diesel.
Yep.
Dumb.
So it's those things of like, not only are you not thinking about, or when you're getting something, you don't think about the things that don't come up right away. Right. So you think about the upfront costs. Right. But then you also have all these other little things that'll come with it. Mm-hmm. Buying a house, I mean, just the maintenance alone, roof, heaters, everything. Right. So that is just, there's just so many extra costs to pretty much everything.
Most things, yep. Mm-hmm. So I mean, dude, that's like the whole, that like people buying a new house, so then they don't have all that stuff. Okay, makes sense. People buying like Toyotas, you know, because people know if you buy a Toyota, typically your maintenance is going to be lower than any other vehicle. Yeah. Depending on which one you buy. But yeah, it's things like that to think about to spend your money that you have up front properly. And if you're not good with your money, you don't have your budgets figured out and stuff, don't use things like credit cards. Yeah, no. Don't ever use pay as you go.
Yeah, the Klarna or whatever.
Yeah, what is that shit called?
Klarna.
Pay now. No, buy now, pay later. Yeah. BNPL. BNPL.
Oh, there's a company called Klarna that does it.
Don't do that. No. Don't do that. If you don't have the money, don't do it.
Yeah. A lot of people too, like if you put it on a credit card, let's say you just put one thing on there. Well, what if it's a credit card you don't use very often? So then you forget about it 2, 3, 4, 5 months down the road. Okay, well now that item is going to be 5 times more than what it originally cost you.
Yeah, it's crazy. Stuff that people don't think about, but are yeah, people just they'll just go with the flow. They'll do their thing, keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, and honestly, you don't need the nicest and the best things ever. People aren't going to judge you if you have a Honda Civic. Man, maybe that's a bad one. Oh. An old school Honda Civic versus a brand new Toyota Tacoma.
Oh, bro, most people are going to think you're pretty damn cool with an old school Honda Civic.
Well, in your world, yes.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I don't know. You still dated me when you saw me in my first car.
Trash. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, people, it's not that cool to be living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah. At the end of the day, worrying about, because there's so much stress behind money in the fact of like, if you're worrying about covering bills and paying bills and getting by, that's an added stress onto your life that you're constantly thinking about. Where if you set up a budget, live below your means, and only buy things you can afford, buy things when you have the money, you don't have to worry. You know, like you don't have to. I just think about that. Like some people get lucky and move up into roles and stuff, and with certain companies, and they'll increase their living status, and so update that, and then they'll lose that job. Yeah. And now their standard of living has to come down, but now they have the car, they have the house, they have the toys.
Yes, because they the snowmobile, the ATV.
Right, the camper, whatever. And now you're looking at all that, and you're like, okay, how the hell am I going to get rid of this stuff, pay the bills, etc. Well, since you went and bought all these things new, now they all are, you owe more than that you can sell them for. And so now you're going bankrupt. Money coming from you, all that shit. And Patrick Bet-David on his podcast the other day said, the best thing you can do, is double your income. And when you double your income, don't increase your standard of living.
Right, yeah.
And when you triple your income, you can bump your standard of living up a little bit, but like don't increase your standard of living. Don't, whatever. Once you increase your income 4 times, still don't do it. He said until you've 5x'd your earning potential, don't bring your standard of living up. 5x your earning potential, then bring your standard of living up, and only bring your standard of living up to maximum half. He was saying like bring it up to like 1/3 of what that is, right? Because same concept. Only spend the money you have. When you have it. Yeah.
I just like that because when we think about Shaun and I, every once in a while, I should do it more often. I just haven't. We have an electronic budget, and then I also have a paper budget that I write out everything that we bought for the month. Christmas time obviously is a little bit different because we buy presents and stuff. But it's interesting to look at because on our chart we have our salaries, and we broke it down. 80% goes to our checking, and then 20% goes to each of our investment accounts, wherever we put them. And it was funny because recently I told Shaun, I was like, we're like negative money according to this thing. I was like, I don't know how, like, what's going on, all this stuff. And then I realized, I was like, oh, we're only living off of 80%. So we didn't dig into our 20%. Like, we started, figuring out, cutting things out of our budgets that we didn't need to make sure that we're living in that 80%. But that's something like our goal is to dwindle that 80% to like, okay, we can survive on 70% of our income. Now we can survive on 60%.
That's not even our income. That's just our hourly wages. It doesn't include any. It's not our income.
Yeah, any bonuses, any.
None of that shit.
No.
Well, bonuses, real estate, sale of business, any of that like residual income coming in. None of that.
Yeah, but it's a good way for you to set goals of like, okay, let's lower our means. And by giving yourself those goals of, okay, this is our hourly wage, let's try and live off of, you can start off with even 90% and just saving the 10%. Because if you save that stuff properly, you can spend it on, if toys are really something you want, then you can save up to buy that toy with cash. Because then, let's say you lose your job, well, the toy's paid off so you can sell it if you need to. Or if you just have a savings account with plenty of money in it, you don't have to worry. I know, like, we have saved up 3 months worth of expenses, so if anything does happen, we do have a 3-month buffer.
Yeah. Which
helps, like, alleviate that stress for if something happens, we have something to help us.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, like, if you're struggling with, like, grocery bills being up or anything like that, think about, this is why you need to have a written budget, because then you can actually see everything that you spend your money on. So, Shaun and I have Hulu, and we have Amazon Prime and Netflix. I have a Pandora subscription. We did have an Audible. So at any point in time, if we're really strapped for cash, we can always cancel those and save that bit of money.
You get $100 right there.
Right. And so if you're strapped for cash, but you have 7, 8, 9 different streaming services, start canceling them. You don't need to be able to watch TV. If you're watching TV in the afternoon, but you are short with money, go get another job.
There we fucking go. If you got time to sit on your lazy fucking ass and watch TV but not pay the bills, you got time to go get another job, increase your skill sets so you can make more money. Delete those services, do some self-development, get higher income, your problems are solved.
Especially if you have kids. Get your kids reading. Go do activities with them. Like, I know it's wintertime out and you just want to sit and watch a movie. Okay, well, maybe only watch a movie Friday and Saturday night.
And it can be on a fucking DVD player, and it's a movie. You don't need streaming. Yeah, oh, for sure. Those things are, that's something, we barely watch TV anymore.
Yeah.
I used to watch TV a lot, but the only thing TV did for me was fucking numb my brain. We still watch TV, I would say, like, we sit down to watch TV, and we watch 2 hours of TV every other week, roughly.
Not even lately.
Well, yeah, not lately, but that's usually what we do is we'll do, like, one movie on a Saturday, every other week or so.
And usually we're doing something else, I would say.
Yeah,
a lot of times we paired like building Legos with watching a movie or TV show. So it was more of a background noise for us instead of just like us staring at the screen and doing whatever. Or like Shaun wanted to watch a movie, but I wanted to work, so I came up here and worked in the office while Shaun watched a movie. But either way, we don't watch a whole lot of things. And you don't have to either. There's so many things to go do just in general. Like, you don't need those services.
Right.
Someone made a post the other day, by the way, that was just like, oh, I can't wait until a company comes out and puts all these streaming services under one main account. I'm
going to be honest with you. The level of stupid we've gotten with streaming services.
It's literally cable. Like,
cable is going to come back. Cable's going to come back, and it's going to offer all of them, and it's going to be $150 a month.
Oh, yeah.
And then everyone's going to be like, this is just so much more convenient. It all comes out of one area. And it's just going to be cable.
Yep. But instead it'll be you can watch whatever you want whenever you want instead of sitting and watching the TV guide and seeing what's on today.
Right. This is what I'll say is the biggest issue with that. When cable existed, we'd like find a movie on TV and like watch the movie. You would end up watching a movie that like you weren't expecting to watch that night. It's kind of like a little surprise, like, oh my god, I haven't watched fucking Willy Wonka in forever. Bam, on. But like, am I gonna go out of my way to watch Willy Wonka? No, never. But like, that's what was cool about cable. You just like, yeah, boom.
We were also talking about like commercials.
Yeah.
How, because just with the movie playing this weekend, like, all of us were just like sitting there, just memorized, just watching it. But when you have cable on, you have those commercial breaks. So it
takes you out of it.
Yeah, it takes you out of it for those like 3-4 minutes. Yeah. And in those 3-4 minutes, you could go start doing dishes and not come back to watching it.
Right. Well, yeah, so many times like you would get up and go do stuff in between, like on a commercial break, and then you'd be coming back in and be like, oh, shoot, whatever.
So, yeah, there are definitely ways to get more money if there's barely any left.
Oh.
There's definitely better ways to get more money or anything if you're strapped for cash or
struggling.
If you're struggling, yes. Sorry, words are hard. I'm really tired.
Sam needs to sleep.
I do.
Yeah, guys, pretty simple. Don't spend money until you have it.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm going to say the quote one more time because it's a beautiful quote.
It really is.
Never spend your money before you have it. Thomas Jefferson.
I love it.
Love all it.
Don't spend. Make more. Save more.
Live a better life.
Live a better life.
With less stress. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We will catch you on the next one.
See ya.